Welcome back to Next Play Analysis. In this video, we're diving into the NFL Week 15 matchups with detailed predictions to help you stay ahead of the game. For your convenience, we've included timestamps in the description. Jump straight to your favorite matchups to get all the insights you need. Stay tuned, because we're also gearing up to upload exciting content, including videos on the top betting sites, crypto betting platforms, tools, and groups. We'll also be sharing the latest bonuses and discount codes that can save you money or give you extra cash to bet smarter. Plus, we're kicking off a series on how to bet like a pro to level up your game. If you find this video helpful or informative, please give it a like, share it with your football-loving friends or groups, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Doing so will not only help us grow and fund better resources for future videos, but it'll also ensure you get our predictions earlier, so you can plan and strategize confidently as the Super Bowl approaches. Before we jump in, here are some general strategy tips. Monitor injury reports. Pay attention to any late changes, particularly for key Chicago players like DeAndre Swift, who may affect their offense. Team strengths. Detroit's offense is balanced, and their defense has the edge over Chicago's offense. Diversify bets. Spread your bets across different categories: moneyline, player props, total points, to reduce risk. Live betting. Adjust your strategy based on the flow of the game. If Chicago falls behind, the over on total points may become a more favorable option. Now, let's dive into this week's predictions. Now, let's take a look at our first matchup on the slate: Los Angeles Rams versus San Francisco 49ers. Los Angeles Rams overview. The Los Angeles Rams enter Week 15 seeking consistency as they face a pivotal divisional showdown against the San Francisco 49ers. With a record of 6-7, the Rams remain in the hunt for a playoff spot but must capitalize on their strengths to compete against their NFC West rival. Offensively, the team leans heavily on its passing game, spearheaded by quarterback Matthew Stafford and the receiving tandem of Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. On the defensive side, they are anchored by standout performances from the line, though consistency in stopping the run has been a challenge this season. The Rams' recent performances reveal an offense capable of explosive plays, but turnovers and missed opportunities have been their undoing in tight games. The matchup against the 49ers will test their ability to execute under pressure, particularly in limiting the effectiveness of San Francisco's multifaceted offense. Key players. Matthew Stafford, quarterback. The veteran quarterback remains the focal point of the Rams' offense with his deep ball accuracy and leadership. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver, a reliable playmaker. Kupp continues to deliver big plays and key receptions for the Rams. Injury report. No major injuries reported for the Rams, but their depth will be tested against the 49ers' physical defense. San Francisco 49ers overview. The San Francisco 49ers are entering their Week 15 matchup against the Los Angeles Rams in strong form, backed by their dominant defense and a versatile offense. Quarterback Brock Purdy continues to manage the game effectively, with key targets like Deebo Samuel and George Kittle making significant contributions. The 49ers defense, spearheaded by standout performances from Nick Bosa, remains one of the best in the league, excelling at pressuring opposing quarterbacks and disrupting offensive schemes. Maintaining this defensive dominance and exploiting offensive opportunities will be critical against the Rams. Key players. Brock Purdy, quarterback, efficient and reliable in executing the offense. Nick Bosa, defensive end, a game-changer on the defensive line. Injury report. Aaron Banks, offensive lineman, concussion, did not practice. Jordan Mason, running back, ankle, did not practice. And now, let's get into our predictions for Rams versus 49ers. Betting strategy for Los Angeles Rams versus San Francisco 49ers. Week 15, December 2024. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds: 49ers minus 220, Rams plus 185. Analysis. The San Francisco 49ers are the favorites, boasting a high-powered offense led by Brock Purdy and an aggressive defense. Despite being competitive, the Rams have had inconsistencies on both sides of the ball and injuries affecting their depth. San Francisco's strength across the board makes them the safer pick. Strategy. Bet on the 49ers, minus 220, their superior offense and defense give them the edge. Bet on the Rams, plus 185 if you're feeling risk-tolerant. The Rams could offer a good return, especially if they can disrupt the 49ers' offense. Potential payout. 49ers, minus 220, a $100 bet would return $145.45, including the original stake. Rams, plus 185, a $100 bet would return $285, including the original stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread, 49ers minus 7. Analysis. San Francisco is expected to control the game with their offensive and defensive superiority. The Rams will struggle to keep up, especially with their defensive inconsistencies. Strategy. Bet on the 49ers to cover, minus 7, with their offensive power and solid defense. The 49ers are expected to win by more than 7 points. Bet on the Rams to cover, plus 7, if the Rams defense can keep it close, they may be able to cover the spread. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 43.5. Analysis. The 49ers offense is capable of scoring significantly, but the Rams defense may not be as porous as expected. The Rams offense might not keep pace with San Francisco's attack, making the under a strong option. Strategy. Bet the under, 43.5. San Francisco's defense and the Rams' offensive struggles should keep total points lower than expected. Consider live betting. If the Rams fall behind early, the over might become more attractive. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Brock Purdy, quarterback, 49ers. Purdy is likely to hit his passing yards prop given the Rams' struggles against strong quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford, quarterback, Rams. Stafford will likely be forced to pass heavily in this matchup, making his passing yards prop worth considering. Strategy. Purdy passing yards. Bet the over on Purdy's passing yards as he should be able to exploit the Rams' defense. Stafford passing yards. Stafford will likely surpass his passing yards prop, especially if the Rams are trailing and need to pass frequently. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. The 49ers are likely to score first due to their explosive offense. Total sacks. San Francisco's pass rush, led by Nick Bosa, will likely pressure Stafford, while the Rams' defense may create some disruption for Purdy. Strategy. Bet on the 49ers to score first. Their high-powered offense should give them the edge to score first. Take the over on total sacks. Expect multiple sacks as both teams have strong pass rushers. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread, 49ers minus 3.5. First half total, over 21.5. Analysis. San Francisco should build an early lead, and with both teams having the potential for quick scores, the first half could see a high total. Strategy. Bet on the 49ers to cover the first half spread, minus 3.5. San Francisco should have a lead at halftime. Bet the over on first half total, 21.5. Both teams should score enough for the first half total to exceed this mark. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. 49ers to cover, minus 7. Over 43.5 total points. Purdy over 250 passing yards. Analysis. A parlay betting on the 49ers to cover, the total going over, and Purdy surpassing 250 passing yards has a good chance of paying out. Parlay 2. 49ers to score first. Bosa over 0.5 sacks. 49ers to win by 7 to 13 points. Analysis. San Francisco is likely to score first, with Bosa recording a sack and a 49ers win by a touchdown range making this parlay favorable. The San Francisco 49ers' balanced dominance makes them the safer bet in most strategies, but the Rams offer intriguing value for risk-tolerant bettors. Moving on, here's an overview of the second matchup: Dallas Cowboys versus Carolina Panthers. Dallas Cowboys overview. The Dallas Cowboys enter Week 15 looking to maintain their momentum following strong performances on both sides of the ball. Quarterback Dak Prescott has been in rhythm, capitalizing on the offensive depth, with the receiving core, including CeeDee Lamb, playing a significant role in moving the ball. The Cowboys' defense, led by the dynamic pass rush of Micah Parsons, has been a key factor in their success, with their ability to disrupt opposing quarterbacks setting the tone. However, the team will need to ensure they stay disciplined to handle Carolina's underdog mentality effectively. Key players. Dak Prescott, quarterback, the leader of the Cowboys' offense, looking to continue his efficient play under pressure. Micah Parsons, linebacker, a major force on defense, able to create havoc and change the flow of the game. CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver, key contributor in the passing game. His connection with Prescott will be critical. Injury report. Jake Ferguson, tight end, concussion, did not participate in practice, expected to miss game time. Zach Martin, guard, ankle/shoulder, did not participate in practice, status uncertain for the game. Carolina Panthers overview. The Carolina Panthers have shown signs of promise this season but remain inconsistent in their overall performance. While rookie quarterback Bryce Young has had some growing pains, he has shown flashes of potential. The Panthers' offense, led by running back Chuba Hubbard, has relied on a balanced attack to stay competitive. Defensively, while the team has struggled to consistently generate pressure, they will look to capitalize on any opportunities that arise, particularly in pass coverage. Their focus moving forward will be on finding consistency both offensively and defensively, especially as they face a tough challenge against the Dallas Cowboys in Week 15. Key players. Bryce Young, quarterback. The rookie quarterback continues to develop, showing both promise and areas for improvement. Chuba Hubbard, running back, the Panthers' primary ball carrier, providing stability to their ground game. Injury report. Jadeveon Clowney, outside linebacker, knee did not participate in practice. Jalen Coker, wide receiver, quadriceps, did not participate in practice. Let's jump ahead and break down the next set of predictions: Cowboys versus Panthers. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds. Cowboys -120, Panthers +100. Analysis. The Dallas Cowboys are slight favorites, and their defense should be the difference in this matchup. Their pass rush, led by Micah Parsons, will look to contain Bryce Young, while their offense, although inconsistent, has been potent at times. The Panthers, though capable of surprising teams, have been inconsistent, especially offensively. Strategy. Bet on the Cowboys, -120, given Dallas defense and overall experience. They have a strong chance of pulling out a victory. Bet on the Panthers, +100, Carolina could pull an upset if they execute a balanced game plan, but their chances depend heavily on Bryce Young's performance. Potential payout. Cowboys, -120, a $100 bet would return $183.33, including the original $100 stake. Panthers, +100, a $100 bet would return $200, including the original $100 stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread. Cowboys -1.5. Analysis. Dallas is expected to control the game but has had struggles covering spreads this season. Carolina, though often competitive, has trouble keeping pace with elite defenses like Dallas. Strategy. Bet on Cowboys to cover, -1.5. Dallas should be able to win by at least 2 points with their defense likely limiting Carolina's offensive output. Panthers to cover, +1.5. If Carolina can keep the game tight and limit Dallas' big plays, they could cover the spread. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 44. Analysis. The total is set at a moderate level, with Dallas defense likely stifling Carolina's offense. The Cowboys have struggled to consistently generate offensive points, and the Panthers' offense has been hit or miss. Strategy. Bet the under 44. Dallas defense should hold the Panthers in check, making it hard for both teams to reach a high-scoring total. Consider live betting. If the game turns into a back-and-forth affair, consider adjusting your bet accordingly. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. CeeDee Lamb, WR. Lamb has been a consistent target and could rack up yards against Carolina's secondary. Rico Dowdle, RB, expect a solid performance on the ground, especially with the Panthers' struggles against the run. Bryce Young, QB. Young's performance will be key. If he exceeds his passing yard prop, the Panthers could have a chance to stay competitive. Strategy. CeeDee Lamb over receiving yards. Lamb should exceed his receiving yards prop, given Carolina's struggles against top-tier receivers. Rico Dowdle over rushing yards. Dowdle is likely to get a good amount of touches, and with the game likely being controlled by Dallas, he should exceed his rushing prop. Bryce Young under passing yards. Dallas defense should limit Young's ability to accumulate yards through the air. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score, Dallas should score first, thanks to their efficient offense and Carolina's potential early struggles. Total sacks. Expect Dallas defense, including Parsons, to generate several sacks against Young. Strategy. Bet on Cowboys to score first. Dallas' quick offense gives them the edge here. Take the over on total sacks. With Dallas likely pressuring Young, there will be plenty of sack opportunities. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread. Cowboys minus 0.5. First half total. Under 22.5. Analysis. Dallas is likely to have a lead at halftime, with a solid defense and methodical offense. Carolina may struggle to keep up early. Strategy. Bet on Cowboys to cover the first half spread, minus 0.5. Expect Dallas to have a small but secure lead at halftime. Bet the under on first half total, 22.5. Both teams are expected to focus on defense early, making it hard to hit a high total in the first half. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Cowboys to cover, minus 1.5. Under 44 total points. CeeDee Lamb over 75 receiving yards. Analysis. This parlay combines the expected defensive advantage for Dallas with individual player props and game outcomes. Parlay 2. Cowboys to score first. Over 4.5 total sacks. Dallas to win by 1 to 7 points. Analysis. With Dallas likely scoring first and their defense generating pressure, this parlay offers a good value with a relatively low risk. The Dallas Cowboys defense positions them as the safer bet, but the Carolina Panthers present an intriguing upset potential if Bryce Young rises to the occasion. Let's shift gears and dive into the next matchup: Kansas City Chiefs versus Cleveland Browns. Kansas City Chiefs overview. The Kansas City Chiefs remain one of the top teams in the NFL, driven by the elite play of quarterback Patrick Mahomes. His ability to create explosive plays and maintain composure in high-pressure situations continues to define the Chiefs' offensive success. Alongside Mahomes, running back Isaiah Pacheco has been crucial, consistently helping balance the Chiefs' ground game. Defensively, the team relies heavily on Chris Jones to disrupt opposing offenses, with a focus on generating pressure through the front seven. With Mahomes at the helm, Kansas City continues to look dangerous, but maintaining defensive consistency will be key to securing a deep playoff run. Key players. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback. The MVP-caliber quarterback is the backbone of the Chiefs' offensive attack. Chris Jones, defensive tackle, a constant disruptor on the defensive line. Jones plays a critical role in the Chiefs' pass rush. Injury report. Mecole Hardman, wide receiver, Neith did not participate in practice. Cleveland Browns overview. The Cleveland Browns are looking to bounce back from recent setbacks. Quarterback Jameis Winston has been performing steadily, but the Browns will need to improve their offensive consistency to keep up with the high-scoring Chiefs. Jerome Ford leads the rushing attack, and Myles Garrett is expected to lead the defense against a potent Kansas City offense. With several injuries impacting their lineup, Cleveland will need its key players to step up in this crucial Week 15 matchup. Key players. Jameis Winston, quarterback, a steady hand under center. Myles Garrett, defensive end, a game-changer on defense. Injury report. Cedric Tillman, wide receiver, concussion out for Week 15. Elijah Moore, wide receiver, shoulder, no designation for Week 15. Time to analyze what we expect from Chiefs versus Browns matchup. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds. Chiefs minus 220, Browns plus 180. Analysis. The Chiefs are the favorites in this matchup, thanks to their high-powered offense led by Patrick Mahomes. While the Browns have a strong defense with Myles Garrett, their offense, led by Jameis Winston, faces a tough challenge against Kansas City's explosive attack. Strategy. Bet on Chiefs to win, minus 220. Kansas City's offense should be too much for Cleveland's inconsistent attack. Bet on Browns to win, plus 180. Cleveland could pull an upset if their defense steps up big. Potential payout. Chiefs, minus 220. A $100 bet returns $145, including the original stake. Browns, plus 180. A $100 bet returns $280, including the original stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread. Chiefs -6. Analysis. The Chiefs are expected to cover the spread, with their high-scoring offense likely to dominate the Browns' struggling attack. The Browns' defense may keep it closer than expected, but the Chiefs' offense should be too much. Strategy. Bet on Chiefs to cover. -6. Kansas City should win by more than a touchdown with their offensive firepower. Bet on Browns to cover. +6. Cleveland's defense could keep the game within a touchdown. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 47. Analysis. Kansas City's offense is capable of putting up big numbers, and the Browns may need to play catch-up, increasing the likelihood of a high-scoring game. Strategy. Bet the over, 47, with both teams potentially putting up significant points. The over is a strong play. Bet the under, 47, if Cleveland's defense controls the game, it could stay under. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback. Mahomes is always a good bet for passing yards and touchdowns. Jerome Ford, running back. If Cleveland tries to control the clock, Ford could see significant carries. Myles Garrett, defensive end. Garrett is a prime candidate for defensive props, including sacks. Strategy. Bet on Mahomes over 300 passing yards. Expect Mahomes to light up Cleveland's defense. Bet on Garrett over 0.5 sacks. Garrett is always a threat to get to the quarterback. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. Chiefs should strike first with their high-octane offense. Total sacks. The Chiefs' offensive line has been solid, but Garrett may still be able to get to Mahomes once or twice. Strategy. Bet on Chiefs to score first. Kansas City's quick strike offense gives them the edge to score first. Bet on over total sacks. Both teams have pass rushers capable of getting to the quarterback. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread. Chiefs -3.5. First half total. Over 21. Analysis. Kansas City should build a lead in the first half with their fast-paced offense, while Cleveland will need to rely on its defense to keep it close. Strategy. Bet on Chiefs to cover the first half spread, -3.5. Expect Kansas City to take control early. Bet the over on first half total, 21. Both teams will likely score in the first half. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Chiefs to cover, -6. Over 47 total points. Mahomes over 300 passing yards. Analysis. This parlay combines the Chiefs covering the spread, the total going over, and Mahomes hitting his passing yards prop for a solid payout. Parlay 2. Chiefs to score first. Garrett over 0.5 sacks. Chiefs to win by 7 to 13 points. Analysis. With the Chiefs expected to score first and Garrett likely to make his mark on defense, a Chiefs victory by a touchdown margin is a reasonable bet. The Kansas City Chiefs' potent offense makes them the safer bet, but the Cleveland Browns' defense offers upset potential if they can disrupt Patrick Mahomes. Next up, we have another exciting clash to break down: Miami Dolphins versus Houston Texans. Miami Dolphins overview. The Miami Dolphins are riding a strong offensive season with Tua Tagovailoa at the helm, leading a high-powered passing attack. The team's success hinges on offensive balance, with running back Raheem Mostert contributing significantly to their ground game. The Dolphins' defense, while solid, faces challenges in generating consistent pressure. Their primary focus will be executing well-rounded play to ensure a strong finish to the regular season. Key players. Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, the engine behind the Dolphins' dynamic offense. Raheem Mostert, running back, a key contributor in both the ground game and in short passing situations. Injury report. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver, hamstring, limited participation in practice, status uncertain for game day. Raheem Mostert, running back, hips questionable due to injury. Houston Texans overview. The Houston Texans are performing strongly in the 2024 season, leading the AFC South. Quarterback C.J. Stroud has been playing at a high level, with over 3,100 passing yards and 15 touchdowns. He has been supported by a solid rushing attack, with running back Joe Mixon contributing significantly to the offense. Wide receiver Nico Collins has been a reliable target, with over 800 receiving yards. On defense, Linebacker Henry To'oTo'o has been a standout performer. However, the Texans will need to maintain their defensive consistency and continue to capitalize on their offensive efficiency as they face a tough Miami Dolphins team in Week 15. Key players. C.J. Stroud, quarterback, leading the offense with impressive passing stats. Joe Mixon, running back, a key contributor to the Texans' rushing attack. Injury report. No major injuries reported for the Texans, but their depth will be tested against the Dolphins' dynamic offense. On to our predictions for the game Dolphins vs. Texans. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds. Texans minus 135, Dolphins plus 115. Analysis. The Houston Texans are favored in this matchup, sitting at an 8-5 record compared to Miami's 5-7. The Texans have been solid, led by C.J. Stroud's impressive performance as a rookie quarterback, and their defense has continued to improve throughout the season. Miami, however, has shown flashes of high power on offense but struggles with consistency. Strategy. Bet on Texans minus 135. Given Houston's strong defense and more balanced play on both sides of the ball, they are more likely to win. Miami's inconsistencies on both offense and defense make them the underdogs here. Bet on Dolphins plus 115. If Miami can exploit Houston's defense with its explosive offense, particularly if Tua Tagovailoa can find his rhythm, there could be an upset potential. Potential payout. Texans minus 135. A $100 bet on the Texans would return approximately $174, including the original $100 stake. Dolphins plus 115. A $100 bet on the Dolphins would return $215, including the original $100 stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread. Texans minus 2.5. Analysis. The Texans are slight favorites by 2.5 points, which indicates that the game is expected to be close. Houston's defensive edge could give them the slight advantage in keeping Miami's offense under control. Miami's struggle with consistency makes it tough to predict whether they'll show up as the high-powered team or the one that falters. Strategy. Bet on Texans to cover, minus 2.5. Given their strong play and Miami's vulnerability, Houston should cover the spread. Dolphins to cover, plus 2.5. Miami's offensive capabilities could lead them to keep the game within a field goal, especially if the Texans' offense is less effective than expected. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 46.5. Analysis. Miami's offense has the potential to score big, but their defense can also allow points. Houston has been more solid defensively, but their offense, led by Stroud, has been capable of producing when needed. This game is expected to feature a moderate number of points, with neither team likely to dominate. Strategy. Bet the under, 46.5, with both teams having inconsistent offense. The under is a safer bet here. Houston's defense may limit Miami's explosive plays, while the Texans could also struggle to hit high-scoring marks. Consider live betting. If Miami falls behind, they may start pushing the offense aggressively, potentially increasing the point total. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. C.J. Stroud, quarterback. Stroud has been impressive and could exceed his passing yards prop, especially if Miami's defense struggles to put pressure on him. Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback. Tua may exceed his passing yards prop, depending on how well Miami's offense can open up against the Texans' defense. Davante Adams, wide receiver. If he's featured heavily, Adams could hit his receiving yards prop, as Houston's secondary has allowed big plays. Strategy. Stroud passing yards. Expect Stroud to go over his passing yards prop, especially if Miami's pass rush is ineffective. Tua passing yards. If Miami is behind, Tua could go over his passing yards prop, trying to lead the team back. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. Houston's offense has been more reliable lately, making them more likely to score first in this game. Total sacks. With both quarterbacks under pressure, the total sacks could be higher than expected. Strategy. Bet on Texans to score first. Houston's more consistent offense should give them the early lead. Take the over on total sacks. Both defenses will likely put pressure on the quarterbacks, leading to several sacks. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread. Texans minus 1.5. First half total. over 21.5. Analysis. Houston's offense is expected to come out strong early. Miami will need to keep up, which could lead to a high-scoring first half. Strategy. Bet on Texans to cover the first half spread, minus 1.5. Houston should have a slight lead at halftime. Bet the over on first half total, 21.5. Both teams should score enough to push the total over the first half mark. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Texans to cover, minus 2.5. Under 46.5 total points. Stroud over 250 passing yards. Analysis. A parlay on the Texans covering the spread, the total going under, and Stroud exceeding 250 passing yards should offer a good combination of outcomes based on recent trends. Parlay 2. Texans to score first. Total sacks over 4.5. Texans to win by 1 to 7 points. Analysis. The Texans should score first, expect at least 5 sacks in the game, and a narrow win margin. The Texans' balanced play and strong defense make them the safer betting choice, but Miami's offensive potential could offer value for risk takers. Here's what's in store for the next matchup: New York Jets versus Jacksonville Jaguars. New York Jets overview. The New York Jets will look to build momentum as they face the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 15. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers, with over 2,600 passing yards and 19 touchdowns, is the key to the Jets' offensive attack, supported by standout running back Breece Hall. However, their defense will need to step up to contain Jacksonville's offensive threats, especially with the injury situation around key players. The Jets are focused on bouncing back from recent losses and securing a win to stay competitive in the AFC East. Key players. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, key to the Jets' passing attack. Breece Hall, running back, the main threat on the ground. Injury report. Breece Hall, running back, knee doubtful for Week 15. Allen Lazard, wide receiver, chest, activated from injured reserve. Jacksonville Jaguars overview. The Jacksonville Jaguars have been on a strong run, led by quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who has been instrumental in their passing game. The team will lean on their solid offensive line and wide receiver core, including standout players like Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. Defensively, their ability to pressure opposing quarterbacks and stop the run will be key in this matchup. The Jaguars are aiming to keep pace in the AFC South, and their playoff hopes will depend on consistent performances from their core players. Key players. Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, the leader of the Jaguars' offense. Christian Kirk, wide receiver, a major receiving threat. Injury report. No major injuries reported for Week 15. Let's dive into how we think Jets versus Jaguars will play out. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds. Jets minus 187. Jaguars plus 156. Analysis. The Jets are favorites for this matchup. Their defense, ranked among the best in the league, will be key in slowing down Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense. If Lawrence is limited or unavailable, Jacksonville's chances to upset will decrease significantly. On the other hand, Aaron Rodgers brings the necessary leadership for the Jets' offense to complement their solid defense. Strategy. Bet on Jets, minus 187. The Jets have a more reliable and well-rounded squad, particularly with their top-tier defense and steady quarterback play. Bet on Jaguars, plus 156 if you're feeling risk-tolerant. A wager on Jacksonville could yield great returns, especially if Lawrence can break free and the Jets' defense falters. Potential payout. Jets, minus 187. A $100 bet would return about $153, including the original $100 stake. Jaguars, plus 156. A $100 bet would return $256, including the original $100 stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread. Jets minus 3.5. Analysis. The Jets have been performing well this season, led by their defense and the leadership of Rodgers on offense. The Jaguars are often inconsistent on both sides of the ball, which gives the Jets an edge in this matchup. However, if Lawrence is able to play at a high level, Jacksonville could keep this game closer than expected. Strategy. Bet on Jets to cover, minus 3.5, with their balanced team and home advantage. The Jets should cover the spread. Jaguars to cover, plus 3.5, if Jacksonville's offense hits its stride, they may be able to cover the spread, especially if the Jets' offense struggles to score. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 40.5. Analysis. Given the strength of both teams' defenses, this game is likely to stay on the lower scoring side. The Jets' defense is one of the top-ranked units in the league, and Jacksonville has had trouble moving the ball at times. With Rodgers and Lawrence both having potential to lead scoring drives, it's likely to be a close, lower-scoring contest. Strategy. Bet the under 40.5. Given both teams' defensive strength and occasional offensive struggles, the total may stay under 40.5. Consider live betting. If the game becomes more offensive-focused, betting on the over could provide value later. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, Jets, bet on Rodgers to exceed his passing yards prop, particularly as the Jets will lean on his arm to move the ball downfield. Breece Hall, running back, Jets, Hall's rushing yards prop is appealing against a Jacksonville defense that has had struggles against the run. Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Jaguars, if Lawrence plays, he could exceed his passing yards prop, particularly if the Jaguars are forced to air it out to keep pace with the Jets. Strategy. Rodgers passing yards. Bet the over on his passing yards prop as he will likely be asked to lead the offense. Hall rushing yards. Bet on Hall to exceed his rushing yards prop, especially considering Jacksonville's defensive struggles against the run. Lawrence passing yards. If Lawrence is cleared to play, expect a solid performance where he exceeds his passing yards prop in a high-pressure game. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. The Jets are expected to score first, given their strong offense and Jacksonville's tendency to start slow. Total sacks. Both defenses can generate pressure, but the Jets' pass rush, led by players like Quinnen Williams, could be more disruptive against Lawrence, especially if he's forced to move quickly in the pocket. Strategy. Bet on Jets to score first. Look for the Jets to establish control early in the game and likely score first. Take the over on total sacks. With both teams having strong pass rush units, there's a good chance of multiple sacks in this matchup. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread. Jets minus 2.5. First half total. Over 21.5. Analysis. The Jets should be able to take an early lead with their efficient offense and stout defense. The Jaguars may struggle initially, especially if Lawrence is playing through any injury. However, both teams have enough firepower to push the first half total over 21.5. Strategy. Bet on Jets to cover the first half spread, minus 2.5. Expect the Jets to lead by at least a field goal by halftime. Bet the over on first half total, 21.5. Both teams should have enough offensive success in the first half to hit the over. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Jets to cover, minus 3.5. Hall over 70 rushing yards. Jets to win by 1 to 7 points. Analysis. A parlay on the Jets covering the spread, Hall having a strong rushing performance, and a close Jets win makes sense given the team's consistency and Hall's expected involvement in the offense. Parlay 2. Jets to score first. Over 40.5 total points. Rodgers over 250 passing yards. Analysis. The Jets are likely to get off to a fast start, and their passing game with Rodgers should be effective enough to push the total over 40.5 points. A parlay on these outcomes could offer solid returns, particularly if Rodgers and the offense are clicking. The Jets' strong defense and balanced offense make them the safer bet, while the Jaguars offer potential value for risk-takers if Trevor Lawrence can elevate their game. Now, let's take a look at the next matchup on the slate, Washington Commanders vs. New Orleans Saints. Washington Commanders overview. The Washington Commanders are coming off a dominant win in Week 14 and will face the New Orleans Saints with an offensive unit led by quarterback Jaden Daniels, who has been in excellent form with 2,819 passing yards and 21 touchdowns this season. Their offense boasts a strong rushing attack with Brian Robinson Jr., while their defense has improved in recent weeks. As they take on the Saints, Washington's ability to manage both their passing and rushing games will be crucial. Key players. Jaden Daniels, quarterback, efficient and explosive, leading the offense. Brian Robinson Jr., running back, key to their ground game. Injury report. Austin Eckler, running back, concussion/neck, remains in concussion protocol. New Orleans Saints overview. The New Orleans Saints have shown consistency on both sides of the ball, with quarterback Derek Carr continuing to provide solid leadership under center. Despite some struggles in recent games, Carr has been reliable in the passing game, supported by running back Alvin Kamara, who has been instrumental in both rushing and receiving. The Saints' defense, led by linebacker Demario Davis, has kept them competitive in most matchups, but they will need to step up their play against the explosive Washington offense. With their playoff hopes alive, the Saints must find a way to contain key players like Jaden Daniels and Brian Robinson Jr. to come out on top in this Week 15 clash. Key players. Derek Carr, quarterback, the Saints' offensive leader with over 1,900 passing yards and 14 touchdowns this season. Alvin Kamara, running back, one of the league's top dual-threat backs, contributing both in the running game and as a receiver. Demario Davis, linebacker, the defensive anchor for New Orleans, responsible for stabilizing their defense and creating plays. Injury report. Taysom Hill, tight end, knee on injured reserve, will not play against the Commanders. Foster Moreau, tight end, shoulder, practiced in full and does not carry an injury designation. And now, let's get into our predictions for Commanders versus Saints. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds: Commanders -170, Saints +150. Analysis: the Washington Commanders enter as favorites due to their stronger overall record, 8-5, with a solid defensive unit and an offense that has been effective in recent weeks. The New Orleans Saints, 4-8, have struggled this season, particularly with quarterback play under Derek Carr, making them the underdogs. Washington has been more consistent and is expected to win, though the Saints could upset if they exploit Washington's occasional mistakes. Strategy: bet on Commanders, -170. Washington's more consistent play and depth give them the edge to win. Bet on Saints, +150. While an upset is unlikely, a bet on the Saints offers value if their defense can create turnovers or disrupt Washington's rhythm. Potential payout: Commanders, -170. A $100 bet on the Commanders would return $158.82, including the original stake. Saints, +150. A $100 bet on the Saints would return $250, including the original stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread: Commanders -3.5. Analysis: Washington's offense should be able to maintain control over the Saints' defense, and their defense is expected to limit Derek Carr's effectiveness. The Commanders have shown they can win by more than a field goal, but the Saints will need a strong defensive performance to keep the game close. Strategy: bet on Commanders to cover, -3.5. Washington's solid offensive and defensive play should allow them to cover the spread. Bet on Saints to cover, +3.5. If the Saints can pressure Howell and keep the game competitive, they could stay within the spread. Potential payout: Commanders to cover, -3.5. A $100 bet on the Commanders to cover would return $90.91, including the original stake. Saints to cover, +3.5. A $100 bet on the Saints to cover would return $190.91, including the original stake. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 45.5. Analysis: Washington's offense has the potential to score enough to push the game toward the over, while the Saints' offensive struggles make the total a bit more unpredictable. However, Washington's defense should be able to limit the Saints' scoring opportunities, making the over slightly more likely. Strategy: bet the over, 45.5. Washington's offense is expected to score at least a few touchdowns, and the Saints could add enough points to hit the over. Consider live betting. If the Saints fall behind early, live betting the over might provide better value, as Washington may push the score higher. Potential payout: over 45.5. A $100 bet on the over would return $190.91, including the original stake. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Terry McLaurin, wide receiver. McLaurin is expected to exceed his receiving yards prop, as Washington will likely rely on him in key moments to move the ball downfield. Derek Carr, quarterback. Carr's passing yardage could be under his prop if Washington's defense disrupts him effectively. Strategy: Terry McLaurin receiving yards. McLaurin will likely exceed his receiving yards prop, given the Saints' struggles in the secondary. Derek Carr passing yards. If Washington's defense puts pressure on Carr, he may fall short of his passing yards prop. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. The Commanders are more likely to score first, given their offensive consistency and New Orleans' slow starts this season. Total sacks. Washington's defense, led by their strong pass rush, should put pressure on Derek Carr, likely resulting in several sacks. Strategy. Bet on Commanders to score first. Their offensive consistency and quick start potential make them likely to score first. Bet the over on total sacks. With Washington's pass rush and Carr's vulnerability to pressure, expect multiple sacks in this game. 6. First half spread/total betting strategy. First half spread. Commanders minus 2.5. First half total. Over 21.5. Analysis. Washington's offense should get off to a fast start, and their defense will likely keep the Saints from scoring much in the first half. Washington will likely lead by a field goal or more at halftime, with both teams scoring enough to push the total over. Strategy. Bet on Commanders to cover first half spread, minus 2.5. Expect Washington to have the lead at halftime. Bet the over on first half total, 21.5. Both teams should score enough for the total to go over in the first half. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Commanders to cover, minus 3.5. Over 45.5 total points. Terry McLaurin over 70 receiving yards. Analysis. With Washington expected to cover the spread and McLaurin likely to have a big game, this parlay has strong value. Parlay 2. Commanders to score first. Derek Carr under 250 passing yards. Commanders to win by 4 to 10 points. Analysis. Washington should score first, limit Carr's passing yards, and win by a touchdown, making this a solid parlay. The Commanders' balanced offense and strong defense make them the favorites, but the Saints could offer value for risk takers if they capitalize on Washington's mistakes. Moving on, here's an overview of the upcoming game: Baltimore Ravens vs. New York Giants. Baltimore Ravens overview. The Baltimore Ravens head into their Week 15 matchup against the New York Giants with a strong 8-5 record. They continue to showcase their offensive strength led by quarterback Lamar Jackson, whose dual-threat ability keeps defenses guessing. Jackson's playmaking, along with a solid running game from Gus Edwards, provides a balanced offensive attack. Defensively, the Ravens have been effective, with linebacker Roquan Smith leading the way in both coverage and tackling. Maintaining pressure on the quarterback and keeping their secondary consistent will be vital for Baltimore in this game. Key players. Lamar Jackson, quarterback, the engine of Baltimore's offense, able to both pass and run effectively. Roquan Smith, linebacker, a leader on defense, known for his tackling and playmaking ability. Injury report. As of now, no major injuries have been reported for the Ravens. New York Giants overview. The New York Giants are looking to bounce back in Week 15, facing a formidable opponent in the Baltimore Ravens. With Drew Lock starting at quarterback, the team will need to generate offense against a solid Ravens defense. The Giants have struggled with consistency, especially in their passing game, but have relied on their defense to keep games close. Key performances from wide receiver Malik Nabers and defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence will be crucial to any success in this matchup. Key players. Drew Lock, quarterback, leading the offense, looking to improve upon his 187 yards with no touchdowns this season. Malik Nabers, wide receiver, a primary target in the passing game, contributing significantly when healthy. Dexter Lawrence, too, defensive lineman, a key disruptor in the defensive line. Injury report. Malik Nabers, wide receiver, hips questionable for the game. Tyler Nubin, safety, knee limited practice, but no injury designation for the game. Let's jump ahead and break down the next predictions for Ravens vs. Giants. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds: Ravens minus 794, Giants plus 553. Analysis. The Ravens come into this matchup as heavy favorites, boasting a potent offense led by Lamar Jackson, 29 TDs, 3 INTs, and a solid defense. The Giants, on the other hand, are struggling, with backup quarterback Drew Lock expected to start for them, which weakens their chances. Baltimore's overall team strength should dominate the Giants, especially with New York's offense underperforming. Strategy: bet on Ravens, minus 794, with the Ravens' dominant offense and defense. They are the clear favorites and are likely to win by a comfortable margin. Bet on Giants, plus 553 if you're feeling adventurous. A bet on the Giants could yield a high payout, but it's a high-risk wager due to their offensive limitations. Potential payout: Ravens, minus 794. A $100 bet would return around $112.60, including the original stake. Giants, plus 553. A $100 bet would return $653, including the original stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread: Ravens minus 13.0. Analysis: the Ravens' offense, averaging 29.5 points per game, should be more than enough to cover the 13-point spread, especially against a Giants team with offensive struggles. New York's defense is not strong enough to keep the game within reach for long, especially with key players like Lamar Jackson controlling the game. Strategy: bet on Ravens to cover, minus 13.0. Baltimore's offense should have little trouble covering the spread with their powerful attack. Giants to cover, plus 13.0. New York would need a defensive miracle to keep it close, but it's unlikely they can cover this spread. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy: over, under, 44.5. Analysis: given the Ravens' high-scoring offense and New York's inability to consistently put up points, the game's total might skew toward the under. However, if the Giants' defense falters, Baltimore could exceed the expected total on their own. Strategy: bet the under, 44.5. New York's offensive struggles make it likely they won't score enough to push the total to the over. Baltimore might put up a big number on their own, but it might not be enough to reach a high-scoring affair. Consider live betting. If Baltimore jumps out to a big lead early, live betting on the under could offer value. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players: Lamar Jackson, quarterback. Look for props on Jackson's passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns. He's been a critical part of Baltimore's success this season and will likely see a lot of action in this game. Derrick Henry, running back. With New York struggling to stop the run, Henry could have a solid game, possibly exceeding his rushing yards prop. Roquan Smith, linebacker. As one of the Ravens' defensive leaders, Smith could hit his tackles or sack prop against a Giants offensive line that's been inconsistent. Strategy: Lamar Jackson passing yards. Jackson should hit his passing yards prop, especially if the game is out of reach for the Giants and Baltimore continues to push through the air. Derrick Henry rushing yards. Henry is likely to have a solid rushing game against the Giants, who have shown difficulty stopping top running backs. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. Ravens are likely to score first, as their offense is significantly more dynamic than the Giants. Total sacks. Baltimore's defense, led by Roquan Smith, should put pressure on Drew Lock, likely hitting the over on total sacks. Strategy: bet on Ravens to score first. Baltimore's efficient offense will likely score first. Bet the over on total sacks. The Giants' offensive line could struggle against the Ravens' pass rush. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread: Ravens minus 6.5. First half total: over 21.5. Analysis: Baltimore is likely to take an early lead with their high-powered offense, and the first half total could see more than 21.5 points if the Ravens take advantage of New York's defense. Strategy: bet on Ravens to cover first half spread, minus 6.5. Expect Baltimore to have a comfortable lead at halftime. Bet the over on first half total, 21.5. Baltimore's offense should help push the total above 21.5. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Ravens to cover, minus 13.0. Over 44.5 total points. Lamar Jackson over 250 passing yards. Analysis: a parlay combining the Ravens covering the spread, the total going over, and Lamar Jackson surpassing 250 passing yards offers a solid return. Baltimore should dominate the game, and Jackson's stats are likely to reflect that. Parlay 2. Ravens to score first. Roquan Smith over 0.5 sacks. Ravens to win by 14 to 20 points. Analysis. Baltimore is likely to score first, with Smith getting pressure on Locke. A win by 14 to 20 points is a reasonable expectation given the mismatch between the two teams. In conclusion, the Ravens are the clear favorites in this matchup, and betting on their dominance across multiple categories, including the spread, player props, and game outcomes, offers strong potential returns. Let's shift gears and dive into the next matchup: Cincinnati Bengals versus Tennessee Titans. Cincinnati Bengals overview. The Cincinnati Bengals enter their Week 15 matchup against the Tennessee Titans with a strong, balanced team. Quarterback Joe Burrow continues to lead the offense, connecting effectively with key targets like Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins. Burrow's consistency and ability to perform under pressure make him the cornerstone of this offense. Defensively, the Bengals have been formidable with key players like Trey Hendrickson making significant impacts. Despite some ups and downs, the Bengals remain competitive and have the tools to secure a win in this matchup. Key players: Joe Burrow, quarterback, the driving force of the Bengals offense. Trey Hendrickson, defensive end, a key disruptor in the Bengals defensive line. Injury report: Ja'Marr Chase, wide receiver, ankle practiced fully, expected to play. Logan Wilson, linebacker, knee placed on injured reserve. Tennessee Titans overview. The Tennessee Titans are heading into Week 15 with an offense led by quarterback Will Levis, who has thrown for over 1,600 yards and 12 touchdowns. While the Titans' passing game remains inconsistent, their rushing attack, anchored by Tony Pollard, continues to be a reliable force. Defensively, they rely on Arden Key's pass rush to create pressure. However, they face significant challenges from opponents, needing to tighten both their offensive play and defense to secure a win. Key players: Will Levis, quarterback, a key figure in Tennessee's passing game. Arden Key, defensive end, a disruptor on defense. Injury report: Jerome Baker, linebacker, neck questionable for Week 15 matchup. Tyler Boyd, wide receiver, foot active for Week 15. Time to analyze what we expect from the next matchup: Bengals versus Titans. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds: Bengals minus 180, Titans plus 150. Analysis. The Bengals have a stronger offensive game led by Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase, with a solid defense. The Titans, while competitive, rely heavily on their defense and rushing game. Their inconsistency in the passing game may hinder them against a stronger Bengals squad. Strategy: bet on the Bengals, minus 180. Cincinnati's offense, with its dynamic passing attack, gives them the edge. Bet on the Titans, plus 150, a more risky option. But if they can control the clock with a strong running game, they could pull the upset. Potential payout: Bengals, minus 180, a $100 bet returns $155, including stake. Titans, plus 150, a $100 bet returns $250, including stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread: Bengals minus 6.5. Analysis. The Bengals should cover the spread with their potent offense, especially if the Titans' passing game remains ineffective. The Titans will need to play perfectly to stay within 7 points of the Bengals. Strategy: bet on Bengals to cover, minus 6.5. With their offensive firepower, Cincinnati should win by a touchdown or more. Titans to cover, plus 6.5. If Tennessee can limit turnovers and capitalize on key rushing plays, they might keep the game closer. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy: over, under, 47.5. Analysis. The Bengals' ability to score quickly and Tennessee's reliance on a run-heavy offense should push this game to a high total. However, Tennessee's offense may struggle to keep up with the Bengals' fast pace. Strategy: bet the over, 47.5, given Cincinnati's high-scoring offense. Expect the total points to surpass 47.5. Consider live betting. If the game starts slow, betting on the over later could yield better value. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players: Joe Burrow, quarterback, expected to hit his passing yards prop with Cincinnati's balanced offense. Ja'Marr Chase, wide receiver, likely to exceed his receiving yards prop against Tennessee's secondary. Strategy: Burrow passing yards. Bet on Burrow surpassing his passing yards prop, as the Titans' secondary struggles with elite passers. Chase receiving yards. Chase is expected to exceed his receiving yards prop, as Burrow is likely to target him heavily. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. Bengals have a higher likelihood of scoring first, with their potent offense. Total sacks. Tennessee's pass rush will likely record a few sacks against Burrow, but the Bengals' offensive line has been solid. Strategy. Bet on Bengals to score first. With Burrow and Chase leading, Cincinnati should get on the board early. Take the over on total sacks. Expect multiple sacks from the Titans' defense, particularly with the Bengals' offensive line under pressure. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread, Bengals -3. First half total, over 21. Analysis. Cincinnati's high-powered offense should help them build an early lead. The Titans' slower-paced offense may struggle to keep pace in the first half. Strategy. Bet on Bengals to cover first half spread, -3. Expect Cincinnati to lead by a field goal or more at halftime. Bet the over on first half total, 21. Both teams should score enough for the total to go over in the first half. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Bengals to cover, -6.5. Over 47.5 total points. Burrow over 250 passing yards. Analysis. A parlay combining the Bengals covering the spread, the over hitting, and Burrow's passing yards is a solid bet, given Cincinnati's offensive strength. Parlay 2. Bengals to score first. Chase over 75 receiving yards. Bengals to win by 7 to 13 points. Analysis. Cincinnati should score first. Chase will likely surpass his receiving prop, and a Bengals win by a touchdown seems probable. The Bengals' offensive strength and key player performances make them the favorites, but the Titans' defense and running game offer potential for an upset. Next up, we have another exciting clash to break down: New England Patriots versus Arizona Cardinals. New England Patriots overview. The New England Patriots enter their Week 15 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals with challenges in both offensive consistency and defensive stability. Quarterback Drake May continues to develop, showing flashes of brilliance but struggling with turnovers. Running back Ramondre Stevenson has been a reliable offensive contributor, while tight end Hunter Henry leads in receiving yards. Defensively, Jelani Tavai anchors the unit in tackles, though the team needs more pressure from their pass rush. Key players. Drake May, quarterback, developing leader with potential but prone to mistakes. Ramondre Stevenson, running back, key rushing threat. Injury report. As of now, there are no major updates on the Patriots' injuries from the specified sources. It will be important to monitor reports closer to the game day. Arizona Cardinals overview. Week 15, December 2024. The Arizona Cardinals approach their Week 15 matchup against the New England Patriots following a season defined by offensive challenges and a rebuilding defense. Quarterback Kyler Murray remains a crucial component, with his dual-threat capability giving the offense occasional sparks. However, inconsistency in the passing game and limited support from the running attack have hampered their ability to sustain drives. Defensively, the Cardinals rely on a young core that has shown promise but still struggles against high-powered offenses. Key players. Kyler Murray, quarterback, a dynamic playmaker who must lead the Cardinals' offense with precision and mobility. Buda Baker, safety, a veteran leader anchoring the secondary and providing critical support against the run and pass. Injury report. Elijah Jones, cornerback, ankle, has been ruled out. Darius Robinson, defensive lineman, calf, was limited in practice but does not carry an injury designation. On to our predictions for Patriots versus Cardinals. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds: Cardinals -299, Patriots +242. Analysis: the Arizona Cardinals are the favorites, with a spread of -6.5. They've been competitive in most of their recent matchups, including a strong win over the Jets earlier in the season. Kyler Murray's leadership and the Cardinals' improved defensive play make them the likely winner. However, New England has shown flashes of competitiveness, with a strong defense capable of limiting the opposition. Strategy: bet on the Cardinals, -299. Arizona should win this matchup, with their offense led by Murray and a solid defensive front. Consider betting on the Patriots. Plus 242, New England offers potential value if you believe their defense can stifle Murray and keep the game close. Potential payout. Cardinals, minus 299. A $100 bet on the Cardinals would return $133.78, including the original $100 stake. Patriots, plus 242. A $100 bet on the Patriots would return $342, including the original $100 stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread, Cardinals minus 6.5. Analysis. The spread is slightly favorable to the Cardinals, reflecting their stronger offense, but the Patriots' defense could make it tough for the Cardinals to cover. New England has struggled in their recent games, but they can make it difficult for teams with high-powered offenses like Arizona's. Strategy. Bet on the Cardinals to cover. Minus 6.5, Arizona should be able to cover, especially with Murray back at the helm and their home field advantage. Bet on the Patriots to cover. Plus 6.5, if New England's defense can step up, they could keep the game within one touchdown. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 45.5. Analysis. Arizona's offense, led by Murray, and New England's offensive struggles suggest a moderate total. The Patriots' defensive prowess could limit scoring, but the Cardinals' offense has the potential to push the game towards the over. Strategy. Bet the over, 45.5. Arizona's offensive potential and New England's scoring challenges suggest the over is the safer bet. Consider live betting. If the game starts slow, waiting for the total to dip and betting on the over could provide more value. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Kyler Murray, quarterback. Murray has been critical for the Cardinals' offense, and betting on his passing yards or touchdowns could be lucrative. Ramondre Stevenson, running back. Stevenson will be key for New England, and with Arizona's defense vulnerable to the run, betting on his rushing yards might be a solid play. Trey McBride, tight end. McBride has been a consistent target for Murray, and props on his receiving yards could offer value. Strategy. Bet on Kyler Murray passing yards. Expect Murray to hit his passing yards prop, especially with New England struggling to defend mobile quarterbacks. Consider Ramondre Stevenson rushing yards. Stevenson could have a solid outing against the Cardinals' defense. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. The Cardinals' offense should be able to score first, especially with Murray leading a fast-paced attack. Total sacks. Arizona's pass rush could pose a challenge for the Patriots' offensive line, leading to multiple sacks. Strategy. Bet on Cardinals to score first. With Murray leading a quick offense, Arizona is likely to score first. Bet the over on total sacks. Arizona's defense should be able to pressure New England's offense, especially with a few key pass rushers. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread. Cardinals minus 3.5. First half total. Over 21.5. Analysis. Arizona's fast-paced offense and New England's struggles could lead to an early advantage for the Cardinals. The over on first half points makes sense, given the potential for Arizona's offense to build a lead. Strategy. Bet on Cardinals to cover the first half spread, minus 3.5. Expect Arizona to lead by at least a field goal at halftime. Bet the over on first half total, 21.5. Both teams should generate enough offense in the first half for the total to hit the over. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Cardinals to cover, minus 6.5. Over 45.5 total points. Kyler Murray over 250 passing yards. Analysis. A parlay on the Cardinals covering the spread, the total going over, and Murray exceeding 250 passing yards could be a solid bet, given Arizona's offensive strength. Parlay 2. Cardinals to score first. Trey McBride over 40 receiving yards. Cardinals to win by 7 to 13 points. Analysis. Arizona should score first. McBride is likely to have a strong game, and a win by a touchdown margin seems probable for the Cardinals. The Cardinals are favored to win, but strategic bets on their offense and key player props, along with considering New England's defense, could offer value across various betting options. Here's what's in store for Indianapolis Colts versus Denver Broncos matchup. Indianapolis Colts overview. The Indianapolis Colts are set to face the Denver Broncos in Week 15 with quarterback Anthony Richardson leading their offense. The team has had mixed results, currently sitting in the AFC South's second spot. Despite offensive struggles, Richardson's dual-threat capability remains key, complemented by Jonathan Taylor's solid rushing performance. The Colts' defense will need to maintain consistency, particularly against Denver's strong offense led by Bo Nix. Key players: Anthony Richardson, quarterback, the dual-threat leader. Jonathan Taylor, running back, the team's top rushing threat. Injury report: Josh Downs, wide receiver, shoulder status uncertain following Week 14 bye. Denver Broncos overview. The Denver Broncos have been steady with quarterback Bo Nix leading the charge, offering an efficient balance between their passing and running game. Their defense, anchored by a strong front seven, remains a pivotal aspect of the team's overall strategy. They are focusing on limiting turnovers and controlling the tempo against the Indianapolis Colts in their upcoming matchup. With Denver's blend of offense and defense, they are aiming for consistency as they look to climb the AFC standings. Key players: Bo Nix, quarterback, the key offensive weapon for the Broncos. Javonte Williams, running back, a primary force in the Broncos' ground game. Injury report: As of now, there are no major updates on the Broncos' injuries from the specified sources. It will be important to monitor reports closer to the game day. Let's dive into how we think Colts vs. Broncos matchup will play out. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds: Denver Broncos -200. Indianapolis Colts +170. Analysis: The Denver Broncos are favored in this matchup, primarily due to their strong defensive play and home field advantage. Quarterback Russell Wilson is managing the offense efficiently, but Bo Nix for the Colts has been a rising star, showing potential to challenge Denver's defense. Denver's offense has been steady, while the Colts' Anthony Richardson will need to be efficient if they're to overcome the Broncos' defense. Strategy: Bet on the Broncos, -200. Denver's defense should handle the Colts' offense, and their home field advantage gives them the edge. Bet on the Colts, +170, a high-risk bet if you believe Anthony Richardson and Bo Nix can lead the Colts to an upset. Potential payout: Broncos, -200, a $100 bet would return $150, including the original $100 stake. Colts, +170, a $100 bet would return $270, including the original $100 stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread: Broncos -4. Analysis: The Broncos have been effective at controlling both sides of the ball. While the Colts have the talent to stay close, their road performances suggest that Denver may cover this spread. Javonte Williams' return to form will be crucial for Denver, and Richardson's ability to execute under pressure could help the Colts keep it close. Strategy: Bet on the Broncos to cover, -4. Denver should have enough to cover this spread, especially if Javonte Williams contributes effectively. Consider Colts to cover, +4. If Richardson plays well, the Colts could keep this closer than expected. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy: Over, under, 43. Analysis: Both teams have strong defenses, and Anthony Richardson is still developing as an offensive leader. The Broncos are unlikely to put up a high score due to their defensive focus, while the Colts will look to keep it low-scoring. Strategy: Bet the under 43. A low-scoring affair seems likely given both teams' tendencies to rely on defense. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players: Bo Nix, quarterback, Colts. Nix could be a key player in both passing yards and total touchdowns props, with his emerging leadership in the offense. Javonte Williams, running back, Broncos. Williams is a powerful back who could hit his rushing yards prop as the Broncos will rely on him for ball control. Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Colts. Richardson could exceed his rushing yards or passing touchdowns props with a strong performance under pressure. Strategy: Nix passing yards. Nix has been playing well, and he'll be asked to throw more, potentially hitting his passing yards prop. Williams rushing yards. Expect Javonte Williams to get a lot of carries, with a good chance of surpassing his rushing yards prop. Richardson rushing touchdowns. Richardson could find the end zone with his legs, which is a solid prop to bet on. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. Denver should have the edge here, with their balanced offensive approach. Total sacks. The Colts will look to disrupt Russell Wilson, and while the Broncos line is strong, they may still allow a few sacks. Strategy. Bet on Denver to score first. Their offensive consistency and home field advantage give them the edge early. Bet the over on total sacks. A reasonable bet considering the potential for both teams' defenses to pressure the quarterbacks. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread. Broncos minus 2.5. First half total. Under 21.5. Analysis. Denver is expected to have a small lead at halftime, with both teams focusing on defense early. Strategy. Bet on Broncos to cover the first half spread, minus 2.5, Denver should lead at the half. Bet the under on first half total, 21.5, both defenses will be strong early on. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Broncos to cover, minus 4. Under 43 total points. Knicks over 250 passing yards. Analysis. A solid parlay combining Denver covering the spread, the total staying under, and Bo Nix having a solid passing performance. Parlay 2. Denver to score first. Williams over 50 rushing yards. Broncos to win by 7 to 10 points. Analysis. A balanced parlay where Javonte Williams hits his rushing yards prop, Denver scores first, and they win by a narrow margin. In conclusion, the Broncos' strong defense and home field advantage make them the favored team, but the Colts, led by Bo Nix and Anthony Richardson, could provide a competitive challenge. Here's what's in store for the next matchup: Buffalo Bills versus Detroit Lions. Buffalo Bills overview. The Buffalo Bills are a balanced team led by quarterback Josh Allen. His dual threat ability has been essential for the offense, with James Cook playing a vital role in the running game. The Bills' defense, particularly linebacker Matt Milano, is tough and disruptive. To succeed against the Lions, Buffalo will need to remain sharp offensively while leveraging their defense to contain Detroit's attack. Key players. Josh Allen, quarterback, the engine of the offense with strong passing and rushing ability. James Cook, running back, an essential contributor to the run game. Injury report. Keon Coleman, wide receiver, wrist questionable. Dalton Kincaid, tight end, knee questionable. Detroit Lions overview. The Detroit Lions bring a well-rounded game plan with a high-scoring offense led by quarterback Jared Goff. Their run game, fueled by Jahmyr Gibbs, complements a potent passing attack with Amon-Ra St. Brown as the primary target. Defensively, the Lions aim to pressure the quarterback but rely on solid tackling to control the field. While their offense is explosive, consistency in coverage and stopping the run will be key to handling the Buffalo Bills' dynamic attack. Key players. Jared Goff, quarterback, the orchestrator of the Lions' passing offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver, a key playmaker in the passing game. Injury report. Taylor Decker, tackle, knee did not participate. Levi Onwuzurike, defensive lineman, hamstring did not participate. Let's dive into how we think Bills versus Lions matchup will play out. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds. Bills plus 120, Lions minus 140. Analysis. Detroit has been solid offensively with Jared Goff leading a potent passing attack. However, Buffalo's defense, despite some struggles, can still cause disruption. The Lions are favorites, but Buffalo's experienced offense may give them a chance to win. Strategy. Bet on the Lions, minus 140. For a safer choice based on their consistent offensive performance. Consider betting on the Bills, plus 120, for a potential upset if their offense plays to its strengths. Potential payout. Lions, minus 140. A $100 bet returns $171.43. Bills, plus 120. A $100 bet returns $220. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread. Lions minus 3. Analysis. Detroit's offense is clicking, and their defense has shown improvements. Buffalo may struggle with their defensive consistency, but their offense could keep it close. Strategy. Bet on Lions to cover, minus 3, as they should handle Buffalo, despite their offensive threats. Bills to cover, +3. If you believe Buffalo can keep the game close through offensive balance. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 50.5. Analysis. Both teams have potent offenses, and while Buffalo's defense has its moments, it has been inconsistent. The over looks appealing due to the potential for high-scoring drives. Strategy. Bet on the over, 50.5, as both teams should have opportunities to score. Consider live betting if the game turns into a shootout. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Josh Allen, quarterback. Allen's passing yards and touchdowns props are attractive, given the Lions' vulnerability in coverage. Jared Goff, quarterback. Goff's passing yards prop should be strong, especially with Buffalo's defense focused on stopping the run. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver. St. Brown is expected to exceed his receiving yards prop, given Buffalo's defensive challenges in the secondary. James Cook, running back. Cook is the key for Buffalo's offense. His rushing yards prop could hit if Detroit's defense struggles to stop the run. Strategy. Allen passing yards. Bet on Allen to hit his passing yards prop, especially with Detroit's defense looking to contain Buffalo's offense. St. Brown receiving yards. Expect St. Brown to exceed his prop with his role in Detroit's high-powered offense. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. The Bills may strike first with Allen's big playability, though Detroit's offense is also quick to score. Total sacks. Both teams have capable pass rushers, so expect a decent amount of sacks. Strategy. Bet on Bills to score first given their explosive offense. Over on total sacks as both teams likely bring pressure. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread. Lions -1.5. First half total. Over 24.5. Analysis. Detroit's quick start offense should take control early. Buffalo may answer with a high-scoring first half. Strategy. Bet on Lions to cover, -1.5, in the first half. Bet the over on first half total, 24.5, with both teams capable of quick scoring. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Lions to cover, -3. Over 50.5 total points. Allen over 250 passing yards. Parlay 2. Bills to score first. St. Brown over 70 receiving yards. Lions to win by 1 to 7 points. This game offers diverse betting opportunities, with strong cases for both the Lions' consistent offense and the Bills' potential for an upset, making it an exciting matchup for bettors. Now, let's take a look at the next matchup on the slate: Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Los Angeles Chargers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers overview. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers come into their Week 15 matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers with an impressive offensive showing, led by quarterback Baker Mayfield. The Bucs have been efficient in both passing and rushing, ranking second in the NFC South. However, the Chargers' league-leading defense poses a significant challenge. Tampa Bay will need continued strong performances from their key players to capitalize on the Chargers' vulnerabilities, especially in the passing game. Key players. Baker Mayfield, quarterback, leading the charge with 25 touchdowns. Levante David, linebacker, a defensive leader with 85 tackles. Injury report. Bucky Irving, running back, hip/back, limited participation in practice. Mike Evans, wide receiver, hamstring/calf, no injury designation. Los Angeles Chargers overview. The Los Angeles Chargers continue their high-powered offense led by quarterback Justin Herbert, boasting impressive passing stats. The team's defense has been solid, especially against the run, and will look to slow down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Key players like Herbert and running back J.K. Dobbins will be essential to keeping the Chargers competitive, while their defense, anchored by Daiyan Henley, aims to contain the Buccaneers' playmakers. Key players. Justin Herbert, quarterback, the Chargers' leader, directing their dynamic offense. J.K. Dobbins, running back, a key offensive contributor. Daiyan Henley, linebacker, a pivotal defensive presence. Injury report. Ladd McConkey, wide receiver, knee/shoulder, questionable for upcoming game. Junior Colson, linebacker, ankle, questionable for upcoming game. And now, let's get into our predictions for Buccaneers versus Chargers. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds: Chargers minus 150, Buccaneers plus 130. Analysis: the Chargers are favored due to their dynamic offense led by Justin Herbert. However, Tampa Bay's defense, including its pass rush, could disrupt Herbert's rhythm. Despite some inconsistencies, the Buccaneers' defense and run game could be key factors. Strategy: bet on Chargers, minus 150. The Chargers' offense and Tampa Bay's struggles on both sides of the ball make Los Angeles a safer bet. Bet on Buccaneers, plus 130. Tampa Bay could take advantage of any mistakes made by the Chargers. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread: Chargers minus 3. Analysis: although the Chargers are likely to win, Tampa Bay's defense could make it a close game. The Chargers have struggled with closing games, and the Buccaneers have shown resilience. Strategy: bet on Chargers to cover, minus 3. The Chargers' offense should help them cover the spread, but Tampa Bay will likely keep it competitive. Bet on Buccaneers to cover, plus 3. If Tampa Bay's defense can disrupt the flow of the game, they could keep it within a field goal. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 48. Analysis: both teams have scoring potential. The Chargers have a high-powered offense, and while the Buccaneers' offense has been inconsistent, they might exploit weaknesses in the Chargers' defense. Strategy: bet the over, 48. The Chargers' offense, combined with the Buccaneers' ability to make big plays, suggests this could be a high-scoring game. Consider live betting. If the Buccaneers fall behind early, they might push the game towards the over. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Justin Herbert, quarterback. Given Tampa Bay's weak secondary, Herbert is expected to surpass his passing yards prop. J.K. Dobbins, running back. Dobbins is an integral part of the Chargers' ground game and could surpass his rushing prop if they lean on the run game. Daiyan Henley, linebacker. Henley has been a pivotal defensive presence, potentially reaching his tackles prop if the Chargers are tasked with stopping Tampa Bay's running game. Strategy: Herbert passing yards. Bet on Herbert to exceed 280 yards against Tampa Bay's secondary. Dobbins rushing yards. With a balanced offensive approach, Dobbins could hit his rushing yards prop. Henley tackles. Henley is likely to hit his tackles prop due to Tampa Bay's offensive playstyle. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. The Chargers are likely to strike first due to their high-paced offense, while the Buccaneers may need time to settle in. Total sacks. Expect the Chargers to rack up several sacks, especially with Joey Bosa pressuring Baker Mayfield. Strategy: bet on Chargers to score first. Their quick offense should capitalize early. Bet the over on total sacks. The Chargers' pass rush, particularly with Bosa and others, should record multiple sacks. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread: Chargers minus 2.5. First half total: over 23.5. Analysis: the Chargers are expected to start fast, but Tampa Bay might adjust and close the gap. Strategy: bet on Chargers to cover the first half spread, minus 2.5. Expect a strong first half from the Chargers. Bet the over on first half total, 23.5. Both teams should generate enough offense to surpass the first half total. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Chargers to cover, minus 3. Over 48 total points. Herbert over 280 passing yards. Analysis: this parlay plays to the Chargers' strong offense, the potential for a high-scoring game, and Herbert's anticipated success in the passing game. Parlay 2. Chargers to score first. Mike Williams over 60 receiving yards. Chargers to win by 7 to 10 points. Analysis: the Chargers should score first, and Williams' role in the offense makes him a good pick to exceed his receiving yards prop in a close game. The Chargers' high-powered offense and key players make them a strong betting choice across multiple strategies, though Tampa Bay's resilient defense adds an element of unpredictability. Moving on, here's an overview of the upcoming game: Pittsburgh Steelers versus Philadelphia Eagles. Pittsburgh Steelers overview. The Pittsburgh Steelers are coming into their Week 15 matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles with a strong 9-3 record, leading the AFC North. Under head coach Mike Tomlin, the team has showcased balanced play on both sides of the ball, emphasizing disciplined defense and efficient offense. Quarterback Russell Wilson continues to be pivotal, utilizing a mix of short passes and deep throws to keep defenses guessing. The Steelers' ground game and defensive consistency remain crucial to their playoff aspirations as they face the Eagles, a high-powered NFC team. Key players. Russell Wilson, quarterback, anchors the offense with poise and versatility. T.J. Watt, linebacker, a relentless pass rusher and defensive leader. Injury report. Calvin Austin III, WR, cleared to play after a concussion. George Pickens, WR, limited with a hamstring injury. Questionable for Sunday. Philadelphia Eagles overview. The Philadelphia Eagles are riding high as a dominant force in the NFC East. With Jalen Hurts leading the charge, their offense has showcased versatility, complemented by an effective rushing attack and reliable playmaking from key receivers. Their defense, featuring strong performances in the secondary and consistent pressure from the defensive line, has also been pivotal in maintaining their momentum. Philadelphia's success this season has stemmed from their ability to adapt, balancing an aggressive offense with strategic defensive stops. Heading into their Week 15 matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Eagles will look to exploit mismatches while maintaining their characteristic physicality on both sides of the ball. Key players. Jalen Hurts, quarterback, the offensive leader with a knack for dynamic plays. A.J. Brown, wide receiver, a key target, contributing to the Eagles' offensive success. Injury report. Dallas Goedert, tight end, arm limited participation in practice. Britton Covey, wide receiver, neck ruled out for Sunday's game against the Panthers. Let's jump ahead and break down the next set of predictions for Steelers versus Eagles. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds. Eagles minus 250, Steelers plus 200. Analysis. The Eagles, led by Jalen Hurts, continue to be dominant with their versatile offense and strong defense. The Steelers, quarterbacked by Russell Wilson, bring a solid defense but have faced challenges against high-caliber offenses like Philadelphia's. The Eagles' ability to exploit mismatches makes them the favorites. Strategy. Bet on Eagles, minus 250. A safer option given their well-rounded strengths. Bet on Steelers, plus 200. Offers value for risk-tolerant bettors banking on an upset via the Steelers' defense forcing turnovers. Potential payout. Eagles, minus 250. A $100 bet returns $140. Steelers, plus 200. A $100 bet returns $300. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread. Eagles minus 7. Analysis. The Eagles' explosive offense has the potential to cover the spread, especially against a Steelers squad prone to slow starts. However, the Steelers' defense may keep the game closer than expected. Strategy. Bet on Eagles to cover, minus 7. If Hurts can dominate, they should win by more than a touchdown. Steelers to cover, plus 7, for bettors expecting a closer game driven by defensive plays. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 45.5. Analysis. Philadelphia's offense has consistently delivered high-scoring games. However, Pittsburgh's defense could limit the total. Strategy. Bet the over, 45.5. Anticipate a high-scoring affair if both offenses capitalize on their opportunities. Bet the under, 45.5. If Pittsburgh's defense stymies the Eagles and limits scoring, the under becomes appealing. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Jalen Hurts, Eagles' passing and rushing yards are likely to exceed props. Russell Wilson, Steelers' passing yard props may offer value in a competitive game. Strategy. Bet on Hurts' passing/rushing yards to exceed expectations. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. Eagles are favored with their efficient offense. Total sacks. Both defenses are capable of recording multiple sacks, particularly the Eagles with their strong pass rush. Strategy. Bet on Eagles to score first. Take the over on total sacks. Both teams should pressure opposing quarterbacks effectively. 6. First half spread/total betting strategy. First half spread. Eagles minus 4.5. First half total. over 22. Analysis. Philadelphia often starts strong, which could lead to a halftime lead. The Steelers may struggle to match their tempo early. Strategy. Bet on Eagles to cover the first half spread, minus 4.5. Bet the over on first half total, 22. Expect some scoring bursts early. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Eagles to cover, minus 7. Over 45.5 total points. Hurts over 250 total yards. Analysis. This parlay hinges on the Eagles' offense delivering as expected. Parlay 2. Steelers to cover, plus 7. Total sacks over 4.5. Analysis. If Pittsburgh's defense steps up, this could provide value. The Eagles' versatile offense and strong defense make them favorites, but the Steelers' solid defense could create opportunities for value in a close or competitive game. Let's shift gears and dive into the next matchup: Green Bay Packers versus Seattle Seahawks. Green Bay Packers overview. The Green Bay Packers have established themselves as a balanced team heading into their Week 15 matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. Their offense, led by quarterback Jordan Love, has shown flashes of efficiency, complemented by a strong rushing attack featuring Josh Jacobs, who has been pivotal in recent games. Defensively, the Packers have demonstrated an ability to capitalize on turnovers. Key players. Jordan Love, quarterback, the Packers' leader on offense, tasked with delivering under pressure. Josh Jacobs, running back, a powerful runner who has been a focal point of Green Bay's offense. Injury report. Jaire Alexander, cornerback, knee, did not participate in practice. Corey Ballentine, cornerback, knee, did not participate in practice. Seattle Seahawks overview. The Seattle Seahawks enter Week 15 with a balanced team approach, emphasizing consistent quarterback play and strong defensive efforts. Geno Smith continues to lead the offense efficiently, supported by a versatile group of receivers and running backs. The Seahawks defense has shown improvement in critical moments, aiming to disrupt opposing offenses and create turnovers. Facing the Green Bay Packers, Seattle will rely on its offensive consistency and defensive playmaking to secure a victory. The game will likely test their ability to maintain discipline against Green Bay's strategic offense. Key players. Geno Smith, quarterback, a steady presence leading the Seahawks offense. Kenneth Walker III, running back, a crucial component of Seattle's rushing attack. Injury report. As of now, no major injuries are expected to significantly impact the Seahawks in this critical matchup. Time to analyze what we expect from Packers versus Seahawks matchup. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds. Packers minus 165, Seahawks plus 140. Analysis. The Packers are slight favorites with their well-rounded offensive attack led by Jordan Love. Their ability to limit turnovers and control the clock could be pivotal against the Seahawks, whose pass-heavy offense led by Geno Smith will look to exploit Green Bay's secondary. Strategy. Bet on Packers, minus 165, with home field advantage and a balanced approach. The Packers are a solid pick to win outright. Bet on Seahawks, plus 140, if you believe in their offense and Geno Smith's ability to lead a comeback. This is a higher risk, higher reward option. Potential payout. Packers, minus 165, a $100 bet returns $160.60, including the original stake. Seahawks, plus 140, a $100 bet returns $240, including the original stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread. Packers minus 3.5. Analysis. Green Bay has shown consistency in managing close games. Seattle will need to improve their run defense to contain the Packers' rushing attack. Strategy. Bet on Packers to cover, minus 3.5. Green Bay should have enough firepower to win by more than a field goal. Seahawks to cover, plus 3.5. If Seattle can generate turnovers, they could cover the spread. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 44.5. Analysis. With both teams capable of putting up points, especially through the air, this game leans towards the over. However, weather conditions and defensive strategies could affect scoring. Strategy. Bet the over, 44.5. Both teams' offenses have the potential to push this game into a higher-scoring affair. Live betting consideration. If the Packers establish a strong early lead, look for the under as Seattle might struggle to keep pace. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Jordan Love, Packers, QB, look for props on passing yards and touchdowns against Seattle's secondary. Geno Smith, Seahawks, QB passing attempts and completions are appealing props given Seattle's reliance on the passing game. Kenneth Walker 3, Seahawks, RB rushing yards props may offer value if Seattle tries to balance their offense. Aaron Jones, Packers, RB yards from scrimmage props could be worth considering as Jones remains integral to Green Bay's game plan. Strategy. Jordan Love passing yards. Bet the over if Seattle's pass defense continues to struggle. Kenneth Walker rushing yards. Bet on him exceeding his prop if the game script allows for a balanced attack. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. Packers. Total sacks. Over 4.5. Strategy. Bet on Packers to score first. Their scripted opening drives have been effective this season. Take the over on total sacks. Both teams feature strong defensive fronts capable of putting pressure on the quarterbacks. 6. First half spread/total betting strategy. First half spread. Packers minus 2.5. First half total. Over 21.5. Analysis. Green Bay often starts fast at home, and both teams are capable of scoring early. Strategy. Bet on Packers to cover the first half spread, minus 2.5. Expect Green Bay to lead by halftime. Bet the over on first half total, 21.5. Look for scoring from both offenses early in the game. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Packers to cover, minus 3.5. Over 44.5 total points. Jordan Love over 250 passing yards. Analysis. A Packers win combined with offensive success makes this a viable bet. Parlay 2. Packers to score first. Kenneth Walker over 50 rushing yards. Seahawks to cover, plus 3.5. Analysis. If Seattle keeps it close, this parlay offers value. The Packers' balanced offense and home field advantage make them favorites, but the Seahawks' dynamic passing game and potential for turnovers could provide value in a close contest. Next up, we have another exciting clash to break down: Chicago Bears versus Minnesota Vikings. Chicago Bears overview. The Chicago Bears enter Week 15 with an offense led by quarterback Caleb Williams, who has shown flashes of potential but will need to elevate his play for a postseason push. DeAndre Swift has been a key contributor on the ground, while DJ Moore remains a primary target in the passing game. Defensively, the Bears have struggled against the run, allowing 135.1 yards per game. They will need a more balanced performance to avoid a season sweep against the Vikings. Key players. Caleb Williams, quarterback young. Developing quarterback expected to lead the offense. DeAndre Swift, running back, key playmaker in the running game. DJ Moore, wide receiver, leading receiver and go-to target in the passing game. Injury report. DeAndre Swift, running back, quadriceps, limited practice, questionable. DJ Moore, wide receiver, quadriceps questionable for Week 15. Minnesota Vikings overview. The Minnesota Vikings are positioned second in the NFC North with a strong focus on passing, led by quarterback Sam Darnold. Their offense relies heavily on the passing game, with Darnold targeting top receiver Justin Jefferson. The Vikings' defense, though not exceptional in yardage, remains solid in limiting opponents' points. This Week 15 matchup against the Chicago Bears will be crucial for maintaining their playoff position, with key performances needed from both their offense and defense to secure a win. Key players. Sam Darnold, quarterback, leads the Vikings offense. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver, a key target in the passing game. Injury report. Harrison Phillips, defensive lineman, back questionable for Week 15. Andrew Van Ginkel, linebacker, thigh questionable for Week 15. On to our predictions for Bears vs. Vikings matchup. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds. Vikings minus 253, Bears plus 207. Analysis. The Minnesota Vikings are favored in this NFC North matchup, largely due to their strong offense and home field advantage. Despite the Vikings' inconsistent recent performances, their passing game, led by Sam Darnold, and a solid defense should give them the edge over the Chicago Bears. The Bears, with a rookie quarterback in Caleb Williams and a lack of consistent offensive production, are the underdogs in this game. Strategy: bet on the Vikings, minus 253 with their strong overall play at home. The Vikings are the safer bet to win outright. Bet on the Bears, plus 207 if you're feeling risk-tolerant. A bet on the Bears could offer a higher return, especially if their defense can limit Darnold and exploit Minnesota's struggles in the secondary. Potential payout: Vikings, minus 253. A $100 bet on the Vikings would return $139.53, including the original $100 stake. Bears, plus 207. A $100 bet on the Bears would return $307, including the original $100 stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread: Vikings minus 5.5. Analysis: Minnesota has been favored to win by more than 5 points. Their offense, led by Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson, is expected to outmatch the Bears' struggling attack. Chicago has been inconsistent this season, particularly with their rookie QB, Caleb Williams, and might struggle to keep up with Minnesota. Strategy: bet on the Vikings to cover, minus 5.5. Minnesota should be able to cover the spread, especially with their potent passing game and strong defense. Consider the Bears to cover, plus 5.5. If Chicago's defense plays well and Darnold struggles, they could keep the game closer than expected. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy: over, under, 42.5. Analysis: given the Vikings' high-scoring games this season and Chicago's offense being more unpredictable, this game could lean towards the over. However, Chicago's potential for offensive struggles means that the game could also stay under if their defense rises to the challenge. Strategy: bet the over, 42.5, with Minnesota's ability to score and Chicago's potential for a late surge. This game is likely to push the total points higher. Bet the under, 42.5, if Chicago's defense keeps things tight and the Bears' offense falters, the game might end under the total. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Sam Darnold, quarterback. Darnold has been a key player for the Vikings this season, with over 2,900 passing yards. Betting on his passing yards or touchdown props could yield solid returns. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver. Jefferson has been one of the most consistent receivers in the NFL, and props for his receiving yards are likely to go over, especially with Chicago's defense potentially struggling to contain him. Caleb Williams, quarterback. The rookie quarterback has been inconsistent but will be relied on heavily in this game. Betting on his passing yards could be a risky yet high-reward proposition depending on how well he adjusts to Minnesota's defense. Strategy: Darnold passing yards. With the Vikings' passing game being central to their success, Darnold should hit his passing yards prop. Jefferson receiving yards. Jefferson is expected to go over his receiving yards prop, particularly with Chicago's secondary issues. Williams passing yards. Williams' passing yards prop might hit if the Bears are forced to play catch-up, though he faces a tough task against Minnesota's pass rush. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. The Vikings are likely to score first, given their explosive offense and Chicago's tendency to struggle early in games. Total sacks. Minnesota's defense, including their pass rush, should pressure Williams throughout the game, making the total sacks bet a good option. Strategy: bet on Vikings to score first. Minnesota's efficient offense gives them the edge to score first. Take the over on total sacks. With the Bears' offensive line facing pressure from the Vikings' pass rush, expect a high number of sacks in this matchup. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread. Vikings minus 3.5. First half total. Over 21.5. Analysis: Minnesota's fast starting offense and Chicago's struggles to match pace should lead to a first half lead for the Vikings. Both teams could hit the over in the first half if they score early and often. Strategy: bet on Vikings to cover the first half spread, minus 3.5. Expect Minnesota to build an early lead. Bet the over on first half total, 21.5. Both teams should score enough for the total to go over in the first half. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Vikings to cover, minus 5.5. Over 42.5 total points. Darnold over 250 passing yards. Parlay 2. Vikings to score first. Jefferson over 80 receiving yards. Vikings to win by 6 to 10 points. Analysis. A parlay involving the Vikings covering, the total going over, and Darnold surpassing 250 passing yards should be solid. Another parlay focusing on Minnesota's offensive weapons, with Jefferson going over on receiving yards, is also a great option given his consistency. The Vikings' strong offense and key players make them the safer bet across multiple strategies, though risk-tolerant bettors could find value in the Bears' underdog potential. Here's what's in store for the last matchup: Atlanta Falcons versus Las Vegas Raiders. Atlanta Falcons overview. The Atlanta Falcons head into Week 15 with a focus on their dynamic offensive attack, led by Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Cousins brings his experience and solid passing game to a team also featuring explosive rookie running back Bijan Robinson, who has made an immediate impact. The Falcons' offensive success will depend heavily on Cousins' ability to execute and continue finding Robinson, while maintaining a balanced attack. With a solid defensive squad, including key players in the front seven, the Falcons will look to keep pressure on the Raiders throughout the game. Key players. Kirk Cousins, quarterback, the veteran QB leading the Falcons' offensive charge. Bijan Robinson, running back, a versatile weapon in both the rushing and passing attack. Injury report. Rook or Herrero, defensive tackle, ankle questionable for Week 15. Mike Hughes, cornerback, neck questionable for Week 15. Las Vegas Raiders overview. The Las Vegas Raiders have faced their share of challenges this season, but they continue to battle with a balanced approach. Quarterback Gardner Minshew II will be essential to their offensive game plan, providing stability and leadership. On defense, the Raiders look to their pass rush, led by Max Crosby, to create pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Despite some inconsistencies, the Raiders remain competitive in Week 15, needing to capitalize on every opportunity to stay in the playoff race. Key players. Gardner Minshew II, quarterback, the experienced quarterback who will lead the offense. Max Crosby, defensive end, the primary pass rusher and leader of the defense. Injury report. Aiden O'Connell, quarterback, illness, does not have an injury designation. Jacoby Myers, wide receiver, ankle questionable for the game. Let's dive into our last prediction for this week: Falcons versus Raiders. 1. Moneyline betting strategy. Current odds: Falcons minus 140, Raiders plus 120. Analysis. The Atlanta Falcons are the slight favorites in this matchup, led by the dynamic play of quarterback Kirk Cousins and a solid defense. On the other hand, the Las Vegas Raiders have shown inconsistent play, especially without Davante Adams. Atlanta's well-rounded team is more dependable, particularly when playing at home. However, the Raiders, with players like Gardner Minshew II, can still cause problems if they manage to control the game tempo. Strategy. Bet on the Falcons. Minus 140, Atlanta should have the edge in this matchup with their better team balance, especially with the Raiders' instability. Bet on the Raiders, plus 120 if you're feeling risk-tolerant. A bet on the Raiders could pay off if Minshew II and the Raiders' offense click. Potential payout. Falcons, minus 140, a $100 bet on the Falcons would return $171.43, including the original $100 stake. Raiders, plus 120, a $100 bet on the Raiders would return $220, including the original $100 stake. 2. Point spread betting strategy. Spread. Falcons minus 3. Analysis. The Falcons are expected to cover the spread with a well-balanced offense and a defense that can contain the Raiders' attack. The Raiders have struggled to consistently put up points, which puts them at a disadvantage against Atlanta. Strategy. Bet on the Falcons to cover, minus 3, Atlanta should win by at least 3 points, given their overall strength and the Raiders' vulnerability. Raiders to cover, plus 3, if Minshew II finds a rhythm, the Raiders might keep the game close and cover the spread. 3. Over, under, total points. Betting strategy. Over, under, 47.5. Analysis. Both teams have been unpredictable when it comes to high-scoring affairs. Atlanta's offense can be explosive, and with Minshew II starting, the Raiders have the potential to keep it competitive. The total could be closer to the over if both offenses are clicking. Strategy. Bet the over, 47.5. The game could see more points than expected, especially with Minshew 2's ability to make big plays. Consider live betting. If either team pulls ahead early, the total may shift toward the over. 4. Player props betting strategy. Key players. Kirk Cousins, quarterback, expect props on Cousins' passing yards to hit as he manages Atlanta's offense efficiently. Gardner Minshew 2, quarterback, Minshew 2 could hit passing yard props, particularly if the Raiders are forced to pass frequently. Bijan Robinson, running back, Robinson's rushing yards prop could be worth betting, given Atlanta's reliance on the run game. Strategy. Cousins' passing yards. With a reliable passing attack, Cousins is expected to surpass his passing yard prop. Minshew 2 passing yards. Minshew's prop could be a solid bet if the Raiders are playing catch-up. Robinson rushing yards. Robinson is a key weapon for Atlanta, making his rushing yards prop one to watch. 5. Game props betting strategy. First team to score. The Falcons are likely to score first with their well-oiled offensive machine led by Cousins and Robinson. Total sacks. Expect a higher-than-average total for sacks, especially with Atlanta's defense applying pressure on Minshew 2. Strategy. Bet on Falcons to score first. Their efficient offense should give them the edge in starting strong. Take the over on total sacks. Atlanta's defense, led by dynamic pass rushers, is likely to record multiple sacks. 6. First half spread / total betting strategy. First half spread, Falcons -2. First half total, over 21. Analysis. Atlanta is expected to build an early lead with their offensive power, and the Raiders may struggle to keep pace. Strategy. Bet on Falcons to cover first half spread, -2. Expect Atlanta to lead by at least a field goal at halftime. Bet the over on first half total, 21. Both teams could hit the over, with Atlanta likely to take a significant lead. 7. Parlay betting strategy. Parlay 1. Falcons to cover, -3. Over 47.5 total points. Cousins over 250 passing yards. Analysis. This parlay combines Atlanta's expected win, a higher scoring game, and Cousins hitting his passing yard prop. Parlay 2. Falcons to score first. Minshew 2 over 250 passing yards. Falcons to win by 7 to 13 points. Analysis. This parlay builds on the Falcons' early lead, Minshew 2's potential to exceed passing yards, and a tight Atlanta win. The Falcons' balanced offense and defensive edge make them the safer bet, though the Raiders' upset potential with Gardner Minshew 2 adds intrigue. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching our NFL Week 15 predictions. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with your football friends and groups, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Subscribing will ensure you get our predictions early so you can strategize well and bet with confidence. It also helps us reach more viewers and fund better resources for future videos. Stay tuned, as we'll soon be posting videos on how to bet like a pro, the best betting sites, top crypto betting sites, the best betting tools, and the best betting groups. See you in the next video.